In this video, I'm going to explain how I hyperscaled on Vindicta to hard carry this game and end up with double the average enemy souls and triple the average enemy's damage without doing anything special. And I'm not some mechanically gifted god who hits every headshot and makes plays or gets a huge kill lead early. In fact, actually in this video, I missed a lot of shots early game and I'm pretty average in terms of aim in general. Where I outclass people is with my positioning and strategy, and it's something you can easily replicate by following my playstyle and build. Before we get into this video, if you haven't already watched my other Vindicta educational guide where I explain her abilities in depth as well as her basic combos and playstyle, I would recommend watching that. And you can watch that either by clicking on the top right, or there is also a link in the description. And without further ado, let's get started.
Start off this game, I went ahead and jumped up really far forward, kind of just, trying to get greedy and see if I can kill their healing minion as fast as I can so that any perk I get has more value. But, I don't manage to get a line of sight of it. It goes to the right, I'm pretty sure, so we just let it be. Then we go ahead and sit back and just farm souls. That's what you really want to do on Vindicta, is sit back and safely farm in the early game. Any chances you do get to poke people down, you can go ahead and take it, but I wouldn't do it if you're going to lose souls. In this case, we already farmed the wave and the Moe and Crow was really aggressive on the top ropes, so I'm able to just poke him down a bit, hit him with my Crow, get him to about half HP. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really mean a whole lot. Like, I'm not going to be killing anyone early game. They're just going to back off. Maybe you kill a bad player if they're new, but most of the times that's not going to happen anymore. People are learning to just go back to base or buy healing items. And you can see here, even again, we're getting a bunch of poke off. We get the haste down to half. It's still not going to result in any kills. It is still worthwhile doing it because you're going to make it so that they can't pressure you as much because they're on lower health as well. You're either going to force them to back off eventually and go back to base to heal or buy healing items. But I wouldn't be going out of my way to try to get a kill. All you want to do early game on Vindicta is sit back, just farm your souls. You want to get your items. Your gun is a projectile one. It's not a hit scan. So once you do have enough money, you want to go ahead and buy the velocity bags so that the bullets travel faster, so that it is easier for you to secure souls. Because while we're sitting back, somebody like the Moe and Krill here, who's really far forward with a shotgun, it can be pretty easy for him to steal souls. So if you are versing a better player, it could be worth you sitting a little more forward here just so that you can be closer to get them. But I'm not having any issues with it at the moment. I'm able to just safely sit back and farm. If you haven't already watched the first Vindicta educational video that I made, I would go ahead and recommend watching that one. In that video, I explain her abilities as well. But since I've already done it in one video and I went over the span of like 2-3 minutes, I don't really want to do it again. It'll just, add on unnecessary time to this video for anyone that's already seen it. I would recommend that you go and check that one out as well. You can see here in the early game, all we're doing is sitting back, we're farming. The Moe and Krill and the Haze are pretty aggressive. They're doing, what they should be doing early game. Haze isn't the strongest champion early or hero early, but the Moe and Krill, he can be very aggressive and just abuse how much more damage punching does early game than shooting. So he can push the wave in very quickly, and if he does take any poke, he can just go ahead and use his one ability in the wave that's on a very short cooldown and will heal him for like half his HP, especially if he buys an early healing item. So he can really pressure you in lane. And we're kind of lucky here that he doesn't seem to be doing that. If he wanted to, he could definitely be forcing all the waves in with his melee and then sitting up close to us and trying to pressure us to steal souls, but he's not doing that, fortunately. And again, we're just sitting back farming souls. Now, when I say sit back and farm souls, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to be at your guardian the whole game. You can see now we're pushed up to the bridge and we're actually pressuring them because they've given up the wave. They decided to back off and it looks like they maybe were looking to take a jungle camp, although I believe it wasn't even up yet, as well as buying. And because of that, it's meant that we were able to take the pressure in lane. We're able to force them back and we can make them have to sit under their guardian and farm. That means that we get to steal a couple of their souls there. So our first buy as well is going to be a headshot multiplier. So it gives us increased damage whenever we hit headshots, as well as the stamina, which makes it easier for us to kite when we do start playing more aggressive. So once you get these 3 items, you can start to step forward onto the bridge like we have been doing, because it means that when the Moe and Krill goes on you like you saw here, you can kite it out just by jumping back and using your abilities. The playstyle that you really want to have for Vindicta is just kiting for yourself. You don't really want to be the aggressor unless you get to a point where you're fed in the mid to late game. But in the early game, you really just want to be peeling for yourself. You want to let the enemies make mistakes, let them step up and try to make plays, because Vindicta is really good at punishing enemies by kiting them out and then just using her abilities to catch them off guard when they're trying to run away. You can see that's exactly what happens here. We're managing to force them into bad positions, punish them, get them on low health.
I'll make somebody in the back as low. Reloading. Same. They're both low. She's in the shop. Wait, he's one. No. No, I missed so many shots.
And honestly, we should have killed the Mo and Krill here, but I end up whiffing a bunch, so he ends up living. We then end up having the Bebop roam in us to try to help them out. They get nothing for it. They're all forced to leave, and in the meantime, myself and Grey Talon can freely farm and pressure their tower. You can see here, I'm sitting here just looking at the zipline, trying to see if anybody tries to run on the zipline. Because if I do shoot somebody, you know, there's like a couple seconds of them falling and being stunned, and then a couple seconds before they can get back on the zipline to get back to base. So it means that they're going to be a little bit slower getting back, which means we can either shoot their tower more or even take the next wave and then push it in, so that when they come back, they're going to be stuck on the tower. They're going to be in a bad situation. And that's all Deadlock is. If you haven't played MOBAs before, all Deadlock is just about getting those small wins in the early game and slowly just building on top of each win. You know, you might start off with this, like a little trade that goes your way, or maybe the enemy team's not farming souls, so you're able to get an item faster than them, and then you can use that item to pressure them and then get them on the tower and make them make mistakes, make them take more damage, force them out of lane. And then when you do that, then you can take the tower, and then you can start roaming, you can start farming jungle camps. And all this game is just about the little wins, slowly scale up, progressively just get further and further ahead of your teammate, or your enemy, I should say, not your teammates. We end up stepping up a little too far forward. My mate here on Pocket gets caught off guard, not expecting them to just come flying back into lane like that. At the end of the day, this game is a 6v6, but you can very easily carry in it. You don't need to worry about your teammates. If you have a teammate that's, you know, dying a lot in a different lane or even in your lane, it's fine. Don't worry about it. You can hyperscale on this character. All you got to do is just worry about your own game. Just sit back and play safe. Do your thing and just wait until you scale, and then look for opportunities to punish the enemy when they make mistakes. Because as much as your team will make mistakes throughout the whole game, everybody's learning at the moment. The enemy team is going to make just as many, if not more, mistakes. The first kind of early mid-game core item we're going to get is long range. And this item is huge for you. Honestly, a lot of times I would recommend rushing this item over getting all of your early game items. You can see I've done that myself this game because I didn't feel like I needed that spirit items because they're going back to base to heal. So I figured I would be able to get better value out of this item to finish people. So what long range does is it gives you additional damage when you're more than 15 meters from the enemy. So in this case, it gives you plus 40% weapon damage. As well, the item comes with a plus 10% base, and you also get more ammo and a bullet shield. So you get more survivability, you get more ammo, you get heaps more weapon damage, and it makes it amazing when comboed with the playstyle we have for early game. So we're sitting back, we're farming souls, we're not looking to do anything crazy. We're just looking to scale into the mid to late game and punish any mistakes the enemy makes, and this item is perfect for doing that.
The Mo and Krill gets really greedy here and sticks his head up again. And we get him low enough and he starts running, and then he jumps over my sniper shot. I really should have got that kill there. We're missing a lot of those this game. All good. We'll be forcing him back to base. So now it's a 2v1 with the haze, so we can look to pressure her. And we didn't even have to force anything with the haze. She just decides to run straight into me and thinks that she can just hold me point blank. I have that big bullet shield, so it means that she does barely any damage to me. Like, I'm pretty sure I didn't take any health damage. I was purely like my bullet shield. And she ends up on 1 HP running away, and again, we end up missing some shots, and definitely should have killed her as well. And this is what I mean. I don't do anything special. I'm not some mechanically gifted player. I just play smart, make better decisions than the enemy, and punish them for making mistakes.
And honestly, again, like, I feel like we should have killed her there. It's just missed shots by me, my teammate not being able to follow up on it. But, you know, again, they're being forced back to base, and it doesn't matter that I'm not killing them. We're forcing them back to base. We get to farm for free. We get to take their tower. We can take their jungle camps. We can take our own. We can start looking to roam. There's heaps of different things we can do. You don't need to get kills early game. Like, it is nice, especially if you get to get the final blow with your sniper, but it is not the end of the world. We get roamed on. I get hooked by Bebop, but I have such a big bullet shield that I end up living anyway.
I need help on the right if you can.
We can't. I can't peek out.
My teammate is not so lucky. He does eventually end up getting caught here.
He's one shot.
But I managed to go 1-for-1, and then unfortunately, after getting chased down, the haze comes back, I get slept, and then haze and Bebop finish me off. I honestly think I could have lived here if I had better mobility. If I was looking at my stamina, instead of just jump sliding, I could have jumped and then done like the extra jump, or I could have even just turned around and parried, and I may not have survived if I parried, but I definitely think I could have taken Bebop with me. But it doesn't matter. But, you know, we can go ahead and reset. We can go ahead and pick up a couple soul items. So we're going to go ahead and get the extra burst. We're going to get the extra charge and the extra extra spirit damage as well. And that's going to enable us to get that extra damage to be able to get final blows. And now that we're in the mid game, we can start to scale and we can do exactly what I said we wanted to do. We're going to go ahead and get back into lane and look to push it out. Although Mowing Krill is going to pay us a visit again and decides he wants to 1v2 us. So we should be able to get a pretty easy kill here.
He's one build right below.
In saying that, though, I do manage to miss yet another shot. I don't know what's going on there. We managed to get the kill, but I miss another shot. All I can say at this point of the game is honestly, all the shots that I'm missing, they're pretty easy. They're not the most like difficult, insane shots. So if I was hitting them, I would be at least 1k gold more fed. But we're going to go ahead and just stick to our game plan. So we're going to push this wave out. I am actually going to look to harass the Haze here, just simply because I can try and steal the souls off of her. It looks like she's kind of punched them. So what we'll do is we'll just get her low enough that we can kind of force her to run away. And then we'll farm this wave, take everything, and then take the jungle camps.
I'm buying.
And there we go. She's running. Popped her healing right. So yeah, we're going to finish taking the wave and then look to shove. She is sticking around though, so I do need to be careful that she doesn't try to come in for a gank. It looks like that's what she was trying to do. Should be able to finish her off here. I missed another ultimate. You know, this is just proof again that you don't need to be some cracked player to do well in this game. I'm missing so many final blows that are not difficult shots. Like some of them are a little harder, but most of them are pretty easy. And again, the Mowing Krill has just decided to come running down, so we're going to go ahead, finish him off. Kind of do the same thing. We look to push the wave in. It's already pushed all the way in. We could technically push it into the walker, but I don't feel safe doing that just yet. We're going to go ahead and move over to the blue wave and just help him catch this one. And then we'll probably look to either buy or farm a jungle camp. We'll see. One quick tip as well, by the way, is if you look at your map and see where your minions are coming out of the base, you can see how far away the enemy minions are, because they'll be the same distance as yours. So I can see the next wave was going to be there. So we go ahead and catch this next wave now. And I get kind of greedy here, and this is something that a lot of people do in the mid game, is they stop farming the souls when they shoot the minions. You still need to, especially now more than ever, because the minions are worth so much more. It's like 106 souls there. And we can go ahead and punish Bebop as well for that and steal a couple off of him. But now we're going to go ahead, we're going to back up, and we're going to quickly take this jungle camp. Again, all it is just, you just farm, and then you pressure somewhere. Farm, pressure somewhere. Now that we've got this, I can see the next wave is here, but I'll have time to quickly go by. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. And we're going to get Quicksilver Reload. So Quicksilver Reload is huge. It enables us to instantly reload our gun, I believe every 12 seconds whenever we shoot our sniper rifle, because that's the ability I put it on. And we can go ahead and farm this wave. And the next one as well. Perfect. So the reason that's so good is all of our damage is going to come from gun damage. And the reload times in this game are very long. So being able to insta-reload like that makes it so much harder for enemies to escape us before we can, you know, finish killing them. Now that we've pushed it in again, I don't really want to push up. There's too many enemies that are unknown or could potentially roam on me, so I'm going to go ahead and help my teammate defend purple here. Should be able to get a final blow here. There we go. What's that, like the first one of the game? So secure the souls plus the bonus 250, and now we get it upgraded to the max level as well. So we're at the point of the game where we can get 850 souls for final blows. And this is where we really start to hyperscale. As we get more and more picks, we start getting more and more damage from the items we're able to get. We get to a point where we kind of just get carried away and just go nuts and just have so many souls and so many items and nobody can stop us. This is where the fun really begins. You can see as well, looking at the map, the enemy is currently fighting in the green lane. We just saw a Mowing Krill who ran away. I can see the Haze is low on health and that there's 3 enemies by the looks of it in the green area. If you look at the top of the scoreboard, when you can see an enemy's health bar, it's because they've recently been seen by one of your teammates or maybe minions or a tower. So that way you can tell that they're not near you, they're somewhere else. So I can, you know, have a rough idea that there's 3 people in the green lane right now. We're free to go ahead and take that walker, which is huge early game because we're getting to the point now where we're going to start needing more slots. So we need to either take the guardians from every lane or kill 2 walkers. You can see now the enemy's getting really aggressive here. And I was a little worried that the rest of the enemy team had rotated there, so I called them back off, but you can see they're actually still in yellow lane. They just disappeared off the radar for a moment, or off the map. And that's one thing that I really recommend if you're just getting into MOBAs or kind of, games like this, like competitive shooters. Looking at your map is a really big thing. You need to be paying attention to it, not all the time, but just, whenever you're thinking about doing something like, oh, I want to take this wave, can I? Just look at your map, get an idea of where the enemy is, while you're shooting minions, and you don't need to be looking around, or you don't need to be aiming because, you're just shooting a minion standing still. Look at your map. When you're shooting a guardian, a walker, just quickly take a peek at your map. It's just something you need to get used to. Like, you're running around the map and there's no threat to you, just take a look at your map, because that way you'll learn to start seeing where the enemy is and getting a better idea of where you can walk up to and if the enemy can do anything about you taking different objectives around the map. And you can see here we managed to get a fight, so I was a little scared of going inside that building there. It's one thing I do recommend is you kind of need to just avoid going inside buildings. Like, if I have teammates to peel for me, then I can risk it. But I was a little worried of getting ulted there by the mowing krill. So I just stayed back, because once you go indoors, your flight, you don't get as much value from it. So usually I'd be able to sit really far away. You get the movement from being able to like dash around. But if I go into a tight corridor like this one, there's only so much I can move, which makes it a lot easier for enemies to hit me, as well as the fact that they can actually reach me because I'm not like 50 meters in the air anymore. And again, we're shooting these souls. You can see now the enemy team is still not collecting their souls. They're just shooting them. So I'm getting a free like 116 souls from stealing this from the Infernus. And then the Mo and Krill and Beat Bob try to rush me down. And all I do is just throw a tether and just run away. I'm going to go ahead and buy. So we're going to go ahead and pick up Improved Burst here, which is going to help us, what's it called? Assassinate. There we go. Hit the final blow with the Assassinate on enemies. I believe the one I just brought gives me 9% damage. I'm not sure if that's I'm pretty sure the tier 3 one is 9% damage, or maybe it's a tier 4 one. I don't know. Either way, it gives us a bunch of additional damage whenever we shoot somebody with our ultimate, helping us confirm the final blow, which is huge because at this point of the game, we really want to start looking to get involved in fights, start rotating to finish people off so that we can get that additional 850 souls. And if you do get any teammates to complain about you stealing kills, the 850 souls is also shared with your teammates if they get assists on it as well. So it is actually a higher value for you to be killing people on the final blow than it is for your teammates, because you confirm that additional 850 souls as well as the kill ones. I feel like I'm repeating myself so much, but it's all Vindicta is. Like, she's such a simple kit. You just want to play safe, you want to position well, and you just want to kite out enemies whenever they try to chase you down. And other than that, you just do your best to play around your teammates. And while you're looking for opportunities to, get a final blow to confirm those extra souls, you just want to farm away, farm a jungle camp, and just really pay attention to your map so you can see when you have opportunities to farm, when you need to run away, or when you can go help out a teammate to get that final blow.
It's really weird that punching these slot machines takes your health away.
Now we're going to go ahead and pick up Pristine Emblem. So this again really plays into our mid-game strategy of just wanting to finalize a lot of kills with our ultimate. By picking this up, we do an additional 25% weapon damage to enemies that are above 50% health, as well as we get an additional 25 weapon damage again from the item itself, and then an extra 14% weapon damage because it's a tier 3 item, I believe. Then you get some spirit power, spirit resist. But this item is huge for the increase in weapon damage that it gives us, especially when they're above 50% health. So it means that we can get them below that threshold to do extra damage with our ultimate, to be able to confirm that final blow even faster. And you can see here I make a mistake where I almost get caught off guard by the Infernus. I wanted to go kill him, and I honestly reckon I could have very easily killed him. But with your flight, you got to be careful not to touch the ground because it will cancel it. And I make that mistake there. I accidentally slide under the roof and then jump up with my flight, and it knocks it and cancels it. I very nearly die there. They do decide to chase me down, and they kind of underestimate how strong I am. So I would get a free kill on the Infernus there, that with my gun, and you can see I got like, I don't even know, like 1,000 souls for killing him. I'm just kind of waiting around to see what the Haze is going to do, because I reckon she's invisible, still trying to see if she can kill me. And I am very strong against her, but I just want to chill. I just want to take this wave, let my bullet shield regen. Now that it has, I'm going to go ahead and pick up the souls from the Infernus, and we get, what, like 1,900 souls, something like that, from him there. So it's like, in total from killing him, I got almost 2,000 souls, roughly. Kind of just trying to, like, play dumb. I'm sitting really far back. I can see that I don't have any teammates near me, but I don't think there's any other enemies besides these two on me. And you can see with the third-person camera that the Haze was coming for me. So So I just wait for her to come up the ladder, and while she's on that, she can't shoot back. So I get her down low, hit her with the crow, and then get the final blow on her. And then we're going to go ahead and come back up here and finish this guy off. Now, I do get a little bit greedy here. I was trying to confirm the kill with my assassinate to get the extra souls, but didn't manage to. So we're just going to go ahead and melee him. I don't really know what he was doing hiding in that room. Let's go ahead and catch this final wave, and then we'll probably head back to base and buy. There's one more wave coming. Okay, we'll get that one as well real quick. Maybe even just quickly farm the jungle camp. Now, this is a little greedy. This is one thing that I do a lot, is I don't go back to buy. You can see at the moment I'm sitting on like 11,600 souls, and I'm at 26k total. So if you minus what I'm currently holding from what I have spent, you get what, like 13,000? No, I can't do maths. 14,500, I think. Which is about the same souls as like most of the enemy team, a little bit higher than their average souls. So like I don't actually have the biggest lead on them in terms of gold spent at the moment. I'm just trying to protect my Wraith who is trying to deliver that urn. And I wasn't paying attention to the map here, but the Moa Creels are rotated over, so I should have probably started attacking him a little quicker. But one thing I really hate is he can go ahead and pick that up and go underground, so he takes barely any damage, and then can deliver the urn. If you're getting shot, they need to change it so you can't deliver it. It's really annoying that he can do that. But we go ahead and confirm that kill, and you can see now I'm at what, 13,500, and I'm still not backing. I have teammates near me at least, so I'm a little safer, but realistically I shouldn't be doing this. And here we will finally spend our souls. So you can see now we're at 21 minutes and 20 seconds, and we have 13,829 souls. Let's go back to when I first started running around farming. Let's say 18 minutes 30. So that's like 22 minutes. I don't know, 3 minutes 30 seconds. I managed to farm from 2,500 to 13,000. So that's, or 13,800. So it's like, I don't know, 11,000, 12,000 souls, something like that, farmed in the span of a couple minutes, which is insane. Like, I've got a crazy lead, and all it's coming from is the fact that I'm just pushing out a wave, farming a camp. The enemy makes a mistake, I punish them, I get a final blow with my ultimate, I get the additional 850 souls, plus a lot of them at this point of the game have unsecured souls on them, which they end up dropping, so then there's even more souls, plus the actual souls you get for killing someone. Like, it's just insane, like, how fed you can get on this character if you just play her right, take your time, and let the enemy make mistakes so you can punish them. Now that we have all of this money, we're going to go ahead and buy a couple of different items here. So the first one we're going to go ahead and pick up is Sharpshooter, which is huge at this point. Sharpshooter is the upgraded version of your long range. So what that one does is it gives us plus 70% weapon damage if we're more than 15 meters from the enemy, which is insane. And then you get another 15% weapon damage because it's a tier 3 item. We also get another 200 bullet shield, which is making us even more tankier. We get weapon zoom, we get the weapon fall off range increase and more ammo, which means that this whole item is just built around sitting back, playing safe, and doing damage from afar, which is exactly how you play Vindicta. It's like her entire kit summed up in one item. So I highly recommend getting that as soon as you can. As well, we're going to go ahead and pick up Headhunter, which again is another item that builds into her core build really well. This item gives you even more bullet velocity, so we're getting another 50%. We're getting more weapon damage, another 15%. We're getting another 150 HP bullet shield health. We're getting a 14% weapon damage as well because it's a tier 3 item. We're getting 140 headshot damage every 6 seconds, as well as healing for 8% of the headshot damage we do, and we get a 2% movement speed. So it makes this item really good for doing damage, especially from afar because of the bullet velocity. It makes us more tankier, it gives us sustain, and we also get that movement. So getting movement that's activatable whenever we damage somebody with a headshot means that if we're either chasing somebody down, we get that movement speed to be able to keep up with them, or if we're running away, we can hit a headshot on somebody and then get even faster to kite them, which is a really good item on her. We're going to go ahead and just buy the glass cannon. So glass cannon with the recent buffs, I think it was already a good item, but like with the new buffs that made it so you can get 2 more stacks than what you used to, it's even better. And because we're at a point of the game where I'm getting a lot of the kills and I want to start looking to get even more kills and be able to scale even more from the passive on your ultimate, getting glass cannon is going to build into that really well. How the item works is you get the base 70% weapon damage. It's a tier 4 item, so you get 18% more as well. You get increased fire rate, you get movement speed, you do lose some HP. The passive that it comes with is insane. Every time you kill a enemy, you get plus 10% weapon damage per kill permanently. The only time you'll ever lose it is if you die, and you only lose 1 stack. So realistically, with how safe we're playing, with how passive we're playing, this item gives us like what, 70 plus 70 is like 140, 158% weapon damage increase, which is ridiculous. So we're going to go ahead and buy that early now so we can start stacking that up as soon as we can. At this point of the game, I really should be thinking about survivability. I have so much damage, so we're going to go ahead and buy Rapid Recharge. And what that item does, so it reduces the cooldowns of all items as well as all abilities. So it'll mean that our abilities to peel will be up faster, as well as the fact that I've put it on my 4 ability means that there'll be a shorter delay between the shots that I can take with my Assassinate, which means I can confirm more kills with it. You can get more souls, as well as it means that if you use it for damage at some point, and then your passive on the quick reload comes up, then you'll have that up to be able to quickly get the reload off in time, and you don't have to worry about the cooldown on it. But the main reason I get that as well is to help on the cooldowns with our 2 ability. That is like the bread and butter of your kit. You do more damage when you're in it. It's really good for staying safely away from enemies, being able to chase them down, being able to kite them. And because of that, I really want to go ahead and buy the tier 3 or 4 cooldown item. I forget what it is, because that way I'll be able to have my flight up indefinitely. I guess I should say infinitely. We're going to go ahead and just keep doing what I've been doing all game. We're just going to farm and take a jungle camp. Farm away, take a jungle camp. You know, look at my map, see if there's enemies around I can either kill or help a teammate, and I'm just going to farm, take a jungle camp. It's all it is. It does sound kind of boring, but I promise you, like, once you kind of get into the groove of the game, you get an understanding of how it works out. It's a lot of fun, especially when you get fed and you start getting to take these team fights. Like, at this point of the game, I'm strong enough that we could be taking huge team fights. Like, we could be forcing to just push it all into a tower, but, you know, it's matchmaking. There's not really any coordination. No one's really talking. I'm not making any effort to, so I'm not blaming anyone. It's just kind of how the cookie crumbles with games like this. But now at this point of the game, I really need to start thinking about how we're going to end it. I still have room to upgrade items, and we'll still have the extra flex slot, but I'm slowly getting to the point where there's only so many more items I can get and so much stronger that I can get. And it's going to mean that I need to start ending the game now, or else even if I'm getting more souls than the enemy team, they're going to be able to catch up to me. So what I want to do is I want to push out the waves, and I was kind of hoping we could try for the mid boss and then siege. So after I took the blue tower, I wanted to go help these guys out, but I couldn't figure out where the fight was. It looks like it was inside, but then they ran away, so I was kind of scared to go in. Owen Krill can be a pain to catch. He's so fast. There we go. We managed to finish him. But I remember in this game, kind of no one really seemed to want to do the mid boss, and I need to get more verbal in games. I need to be like, hey, you know, we should do mid boss because they're down 3 right now. But instead we go over to do the soul earn, which I guess is worth it because we deny them taking it, but then we never go back to do the mid boss. We end up just pushing the wave out. But ideally in this situation, like if you look at the map, there is no walkers, there's no guardians for us to take. There is some jungle camps, but not a lot. So it would definitely be worth us taking the mid boss here.
Okay, now that our team seems to be just backing off to go farm and go back to base to buy, we're going to go ahead and start getting some pressure on the maps. I'm going to push this wave out. Looking at my minimap, I can see that the next wave is coming already from base. So I'm just going to wait a little bit. We'll catch that wave. And then from there, I think we'll probably try to head over and get some jungle camps off to the right. And looking at the map again, the wave is crashing into the guardians of the green lane. So that wave will bounce back to me. So I'll be able to farm that one. Now, I do make a mistake here. I forgot to tell my teammate that I'm roaming. You know, ideally, my teammates would be able to tell for themselves that they're in a situation where they're not safe, but sometimes they just don't check the minimap and don't see that I've backed up and the enemy can be respawning. So in this case, my teammate will probably get in a fight, but the Ivy wasn't paying attention. While I was farming the jungle camp, I saw that she was running into the lane, so I figured I could get a kill on her as well. Unfortunately, it does look like the pocket is going to die, so I'm going to go ahead and go over to that lane, see if I can push the wave in to keep some pressure. And for some reason, the Paradox actually comes running at me, so I should be able to get a kill on her here. Let's see. There we go, perfect, a 15 kill streak. So we're going to go ahead and push this wave in, again getting some pressure, and I can see on the map between the green and the blue lane, my teammates are fighting again, so I'm going to roam over to see what I can do to save them, because I need my team here to help me siege. Unfortunately, we get them both low, but don't manage to finish anyone. But thankfully, the Infernus decides to come running into my warm embrace, and it looks like the Moen Krill also wants a nice hug.
It looks like he actually has a lot of damage. He must have built pretty heavy AP, because again, I haven't built any AP resistance. And by AP, I mean Spirit. I just played a bit too much League. But yeah, you also really need to be building Spirit in a game like this. They have an Infernus who's going to do a lot of Spirit damage. They have a Bebop that's a lot of Spirit damage. And Moen Krill, depending on how they build, also can have a lot of Spirit damage. So considering how much damage I have at this point, I really need to build some more survivability, because like I don't need more damage. I can kill anyone so easily on the enemy team. I just need to make sure that I don't die. But unfortunately, it looks like I did make that mistake again. We ended up getting the kills, and then I didn't siege. I'm just running around the map looking to farm. It looks like we get a kill on Ivy, who I don't really know what she's doing. She's trying to like, I don't know, drop a bomb on me while flying around. I don't really know what she was thinking there. Hopefully now we should siege though. Like we're all grouped. Looks like we're gonna end up fighting again. Get another free kill. Okay, finally we're taking some shrines. There is a haze behind us. And again, this is what I mean. Like I'm shooting those, sorry, take some shrines. I'm shooting the guardians and I don't need to be looking at my screen. I'm just looking at my mini map because there is no threat to me. So I managed to see that haze, but we end up chasing her and don't get anything out of it. We should have just taken the shrine there. It wasn't worth chasing her. I was just very kill hungry this game because I was just having fun, just absolutely dominating. Now you can see here now, like, I'm taking so much damage, and it's not the haze that's doing it. It's that inferno. It's just because I have so little spirit resist. And I get very close to dying here. It's very lucky that the haze doesn't manage to kill me there. The Bebop's not paying attention, so I'm just going to run for it. It looks like we managed to get out. And I'm kind of greeting here. If the haze was smart, she probably could have kept chasing me and killed me there. But I knew that I'd start healing for the percentage health because of the tier 3 healing item that I have. The like heart wine that I have in my flex slots. But we're going to go back to base now, and I have 15,700 souls. So we're going to go ahead and buy some stuff. And at this point, I'm thinking about like survivability. I was kind of thinking about Vampiric Burst, but it doesn't last that long. I kind of want like better resistance or like healing itself. So I go ahead and pick up Leech, which I shouldn't have done. I couldn't remember which item it was that gives you the bullet healing, and I didn't end up grabbing the one from the weapons tab that I should have. So we ended up grabbing Leech, which, you know, it does still give you your bullet healing, and it also gives you ability healing, but I wanted just bullets. Like, I don't really have a lot of damage from my abilities. I'm built for gun damage this game. Most of the purple slot items that I have are just a utility or like some kind of cooldown based thing. You can see again, you know, I should be pushing towers, I should be pushing shrines. You can see that my talent is actually trying to do that right now, and as a team we should really be helping him. They're also kind of pushing yellow, but I'm pretty sure they back off to go farm instead of helping, and I went to go to help Pocket, who also, again, you know, ideally at this point of the game they're down a couple people. We're so far ahead, we shouldn't be worrying about farm. We should be pushing the base. Like, there is jungle camps up, there is waves to farm, but the waves aren't threatening like walkers or towers at all. They're just going to kill other minion, and it's pushing towards us, so it's going to eventually get to us and we'll have a huge wave and the enemy will end up losing out overall. So in that scenario, it's better that we all just group and push, take a shrine, take some towers, and then back off, you know, farm a wave or two, take some jungle camps, buy if we need to, and then just do the same thing. Ideally, we'd also go for the mid boss. You know, the mid boss, it doesn't give you a lot of gold. I don't think it gives you any buffs, but what it does give you is it gives you the quick respawn. You get like a 20-second respawn, something like that. So it means if we go pushing into their base and we actually end up dying, we don't lose a lot. Like, we're going to respawn so quickly that sure, they'll get some souls from killing us, but we'll be back up. We can take our camps again and we can continue sieging. And we have such a big gold league that we should have been doing this. This game should have ended like in the next 5 minutes at the most. But realistically, you know, I should have calmed something. I should have been like, hey team, you know, let's try and end, try to coordinate something, because it just doesn't end up happening. And pushing in on my own is very difficult on Vindicta. I don't have enough survivability to do it, and all of my my survivability comes from my kit, like where I can kite. But if I push into the enemy's base, it's really hard to get out. There's not a lot of options. Like, you can go through the windows above the lanes, but you can't go over it. And a lot of times when you're trying to run from somebody, you're like shooting at them, so it's hard to see. So I tend to get stuck.
I might die here.
We're at a 20-player kill streak now.
Stupid shield, bro.
You can still shoot through it, it's just a second away.
I almost die here. I believe I just barely lived. No, I end up dying. I get caught out there. So even with all the bullet resist at this point, the enemy's team is slowly catching up. They're getting to the point where they have enough damage and I haven't brought any resistance. So they can kill me. And ideally here, I would go ahead and buy some resistances, but I don't. I'm pretty sure I actually ended up selling my stamina, which was a really bad idea. I should have kept that. Yeah, at this point of the game, I should go ahead and buy the shield. Yep, there we go. Sell it for the combat barrier, which I do. But then I should also buy the improved spirit armor and then sell one of the other items I have. So probably either the endurance boots or the 3-star like heart icon I have. the vitality, as well as I should get rid of leech and buy just a straight bullet healing one, and that would make me a lot more tanky and survive from that kind of engage. Right, you can see like the enemy team is just getting so caught out there. They're all running in. Like Hayes is thinking, you know, she can just run in, take a quick trade and run out. The enemy team's behind her. But I just have so much damage. I can kill the Hayes before she even has a chance to like think about what she did wrong. And I managed to catch everyone out here. We get what, 3 kills just like that. Like I've just come back from base, instantly killed 3. Surely we siege the base here. In this situation, I actually wouldn't take the mid boss. I would go ahead and continue sieging. They're dead for a minute. We should be able to get both shrines, maybe even the Patreon. It was taking no damage, and I believe that's because you have to have minions in the base, or else it's resistant. I kind of just wait a second for them to come in. You can see here now it's taking way more damage. Go ahead and kill that shrine, and let's get the next one. The enemy is not basing. They're pushing in waves. They're not even trying to stop us, which is huge. So we go ahead and kill both of those. Do we get the Patreon? Yes. Take the Patreon. Actually, I don't think we have time. I think I end up making the right decision and we back off here because the enemy does base, as well as they're about to start respawning. The Haze will be up in a second. What we could have done is just taken some more of the Guardians. That could have been smart because this is pretty risky. If Infernus or Haze gets on me, I'm dead. Haze does get on me, but I'm lucky I like jumping, like dolphin dived and had the momentum to run away. And then we have enough life still that we're able to survive her damage. The thing is, if that was Infernus, I'm dead for sure. Like, I don't have any spirit resist. He would absolutely destroy me, and I think that's what's about to happen by the looks of it.
Oh, I'm dead.
Do we end up living? Okay, we get lucky. We survived. The Infernus didn't go for me for some reason. He's chasing someone else. You can see all I'm doing is just running and kiting. The life still is keeping me alive, but again, I should have brought the other item. I would have hopefully shown it on screen at some point because I don't remember what it's called. But I know there's a better lifesteal item. We missed a shot there, but I believe we managed to clean up a couple more kills here. My team's kind of all abandoned me. I didn't realize this at the time, but looking at it now, they've all just left me. I also got greedy there and tried to get the final blow instead of just shooting them. But you can see, like, there's been a while here where I've been fighting all on my own. We're so much stronger, but my team's either gone back to base or is all farming. 7 does eventually come back in to try to help me, and then Pocket and Haze eventually come. But if they had been with me the whole time, we definitely could have finished them off. This is what I mean when I was saying earlier, like, I start struggling because I don't have item slots to buy anymore, and the enemy team starts getting enough damage that they actually pose a threat to me. Yeah, I buy some survivability. Come on, buy the spirit armor. You know you want it. There you go. No, not unstoppable. Go down. Down one. Come on. Buy spirit armor. You have an empty slot. Buy the spirit armor. What are you doing? Metal skin could also be useful, but I think I should be fine in terms of bullet. I just need spirit resist. I also need to get my stamina. I think I end up selling it at some point. Maybe I'm thinking of a different game. We end up buying Ethereal there. So what that item does is makes it so I don't take any damage for a period of time. But I also can't move. So it is really good at surviving for those couple seconds. But I think if I get caught out, I'm most likely dead either way. For anyone that plays League of Legends, I would kind of equate that item to like a stopwatch, except you can choose to cancel it at any point. But a lot of the times when you come out of it, if you're like actually caught, you're dead either way.
Get the drop on them. Stay right there. I'll have their head.
Well, we managed to get some more picks here. I managed to finish off the Ivy. My Haze, unfortunately, is farming instead of trying to help. She's definitely strong enough to be fighting at the moment. I don't really know why she's just farming. I guess because our whole team's dead, she's just kind of like, oh, we can't do anything. But I'm insanely fed. Like, if I have any support, we're fine. It's gotten to a point that the enemy team is trying so hard to deal with me that Infernus has brought Magic Carpet to get to me. If you're ever in this scenario and you're versing somebody that flies, like a Vindicta or a Great Talent, you should buy Knockdown. Buying Magic Carpet to get up to me isn't going to help you. If you buy Knockdown so you can actually get me down onto the ground, it's huge. It's like a hard CC, it's a 2-second delay, and then it puts me on the ground, it cancels my flight, and I'm kind of just dead at that point. And that's one thing they definitely should have done this game, but they didn't. Our team is finally all grouped up, we're all together, and then instead of just forcing the siege, for some reason, I make the decision to go try and kill the mowing krill. And I have no clue why I thought this was worth it. I think we do end up killing him, and obviously them being down a player makes it easier. It looks like the enemy team might actually run it down. You can see somebody's brought knockdown. So this is what it does. Like, I'm stunned for a couple seconds there. And the stun doesn't start until I land on the ground either, which is huge. So we managed to kill 2 of them there. And they're still waiting for 1 more to respawn. So surely we can end here. Again, like, our team's kind of lost. Like, 7 is pushing the wave in, which I guess is useful. But, like, we could have just got the blue wave. Our Kelvin is in green lane farming. I think he's taking jungle camps now. Like, we just need to group and end. We're wasting so much time this game. We're just giving the enemy team a huge opportunity to come back into this game. And we managed to get a huge pick there. And again, like, at this point of the game, I'm just sitting up in the air. No one's really a threat to me except for Infernus. I can just sit back and just free farm the enemy team. And this is what we should have done so long ago. I do need to be careful of this Infernus though, because he is very strong. You can see, like, his damage is just ridiculous. I actually end up dying because of his damage from the burn, as well as I didn't realize I was taking the Patreon. We didn't have any minions, so it was shooting me instead. I'm like, what do I do? So I think finally I surely pick up. Am I getting debuff remover? I mean, that could be useful as well, but I just need to get spirit resistance. Come on, spirit resistance. That could also be useful, reducing the outgoing damage by 35%. God, sometimes it hurts rewatching my games. Like, I did really well this game. I hard carried this game, but I could have done so much better. I was just making simple mistakes. Selling Fortitude here is not the end of the world, especially if I'm buying another item to make me tanking. I don't mind losing that health. Selling Ethereal Shift, getting the Soul Rebirth, that's huge as well. Because if I die, we kind of lose team fights. And then we also, I believe I tried to sell the Enduring Sprint, but I didn't realize that there's a thing in the game where you sell it, like, it doesn't actually sell it, it just downgrades it to the tier below it. So I basically just sold tier 2 boots for tier 1 boots instead of the item I actually wanted. Team's having a massive fight here though. I wasn't really paying attention, and a lot of them got cleaned up there, and now it's just myself and Pocket. And I'm pretty sure I'll just kind of let this one play out.
Grouping ending our lives, tell you what. I can't fight this rally.
I'm here.
Try the 2v6 rally.
I'm still here.
If you don't pick someone off, I can't, like...
They're not, like, low enough for me to do anything. Someone's on me. Furnace. He CC'd. And Furnace is low. Furnace is dead.
I'm dead here. This fucking CC to do fucking hook.
Reload.
You can see here we managed to clean the enemy up just by sitting back and just kiting them out, waiting for them to use abilities like the hook and then being able to go in. Besides that, they didn't really have a lot to contest me. I guess the knockdown was either down for Bebop or he didn't have it anymore and sold it. You can see though, I do kind of get a little aggressive here. If I get caught out by one of their CC, I definitely could have died. But I heard somebody stepping behind me, so I quickly hit my 2. And you'll notice that the momentum gets carried, so it actually buffers the CC from Raze. She sleeps me, but I have so much momentum already going in one direction that I keep going. And then by the time her ultimate hits me, I wake up and I'm so far away, it's not doing damage to me anyway.
Bro, and fucking Kelvin. Kelvin, do you want to help me kill this chick? What are you doing? My Kelvin's AFK spinning around looking at minions.
I made so many mistakes this game, but all I did was just, I played the early game correctly, I played passive, I farmed, I punished the enemy when they stepped up and were out of position. I got them down, forced them to buy healing items, forced them to base, I would push waves in, and then I could pressure them and steal their souls, and then when they would try to engage on me, I could either kite them out or they didn't have the damage to kill me. Then when it comes to mid game, I've got the correct items to maximize the souls that I can get. I'm farming waves, getting a jungle camp, getting a final blow on enemies when I roam to help teammates, or even killing enemies that overstep in my own lane. And then come late game, we have so many souls ahead of the enemy that there's not a lot they can do to stop me. I'm just so strong that even though I just failed to get my team to help me push, failed to communicate anything, I made mistakes my own where I could have pushed in and being able to take shrines and whatnot when I was, ahead. I also didn't buy spirit resist for the longest times. Like, there were so many mistakes I made. I missed so many sniper shots this game, which could have got me even more fed. And yet I still managed to finish the game with 97,000 damage, 24k objective damage, and 38 limbs. If you want to see more videos like this teaching you how to play Vindicta as well as any other hero in Deadlock, go ahead and leave a comment down below letting me know who you want to see next, and leave a like and subscribe so that you can catch those videos. Other than that, thanks for watching. See ya.